What's up, Brew Crew? Opie here. Welcome back to the Brew City Garden for what is probably one of the very last updates we're going to do here at this particular location. Now, we are completely moved out of the house now. We're just doing some cleanup, and I got to finish getting this garden cleaned up. But I really wanted to show you a couple things, maybe a grand finale of sorts, but didn't exactly work out that way. So as we were moving, there were some torrential storms that moved through the area, and I mean, it rained like hell. The streets were flooded. They had streets closed down, thunder, lightning, wind, like you just wouldn't believe. And I really wanted to show off the okra. Let's take a look at this. So I just, at the beginning of the season, I told you guys how growing okra in the north was really possible. It can be done, but it just helps to remember a couple of things to help it grow. Specifically, I planted it against the house here where the ambient heat off the brick could reflect into the soil and onto the okra plants because they are a heat-loving plant. And as you can see, it worked out really well. I mean, all these plants are approximately as tall as I am, about 6 feet tall, which I know in the South is nothing, right? They get 15 plus, they look like trees. But here in Wisconsin, 6 feet tall okra is actually pretty incredible. And these things have been producing like crazy. We absolutely could not keep up with them this year. And they just got overgrown. So unfortunately, the storms knocked them all down. I can harvest a little bit of okra off these. Some of these pods are too big because I've just been busy and neglected them. But that's okay. It just goes to show that these things will absolutely grow in Wisconsin and grow very well. Sans the storms, right? So we're going to go ahead and get these things pulled out of here. A little bit disappointing, no big deal. One other thing I wanted to look at was the tomatoes. So let's run over, check out the tomatoes, and see how well they did. So as you can see behind me, the tomatoes, I mean, they're still alive, but I had to unhook the irrigation about a week ago, so they haven't really been getting watered up until this giant storm moved in and just drenched these guys. So they're looking really ragged. I still see a few really nice looking tomatoes on there. We'll go ahead and pick those. I'll probably just take them to work and just give them away to whoever wants them. Unfortunately, with all the rain, a lot of those tomatoes just cracked and just kind of withered away to nothing. So unfortunately, that's not a huge success story either, although that our tomatoes this year just did phenomenal. I mean, we had I probably harvested around 100 pounds, which is far more than I could use for sure. And I ended up instead of, you can only give away so many tomatoes, right? But instead of throwing away all the freezer tomatoes, I had to make sauce. I gave them to a gentleman at work, and I gave him my food mill. And he is going to sauce all those tomatoes and put them to good use and feed his family with them. And he'll probably bring me a little bit, although I still have a ton of sauce. So, they didn't go to waste, which is really the most important thing. We always grow more than we can use here. So I love giving my produce away to friends and neighbors and family. It's just, it's like Christmas, it feels better to give, right? So, and it's the same thing with the garden. So I'm going to go ahead and harvest up the rest of these tomatoes, and we got to get all this stuff torn down. So again, success story with maybe a sad ending. Well, sometimes that's how it goes. But you know what? There's no time for crying. So I'm going to get these tomatoes harvested. We're going to get all this stuff torn out, and we're going to call this Brew City Garden done for the year. So are we ending on a sad note? Well, kind of. I mean, a little bit. But you know what? Really, we just kind of see this as the frustrating period between one door closing and the other opening. And I tell you what, with your guys' help, this is going to be the beginning of an epic story. So make sure you guys stay tuned, because I have a vision of something down the line a year or two from now that's just going to be gigantic. It's going to be absolutely amazing. And that's what keeps my spirits up. And I don't want you guys to feel sorry for me. And I don't want to end this video on a bad note. I want you guys to have an awesome, amazing day, because things are going to get great. I promise you that. All right, guys, with that, I'm going to leave you here. I want you to have an amazing day. Guys, I want you to have an amazing, amazing day. And until next time, we'll see you.